Hi guys, it's Dr. Ash and I'm back again with another tutorial, and today we have a good one. I am so excited about this launch. It is the Fenty Beauty Holiday Collection. Now she came out with so many items and I will like insert a picture right over here. I mean, she had lipstick bundles, she had eye cream bundles, she had a highlighter palette, she had loose pigments and glitter, and I'm sure I'm missing some other things. I know she had a mini fairy bomb, but I was most interested in the highlight palette, which I have here today. I mean, the packaging is cool. Look at it. It's a holographic. When I initially saw this, I was like, yes, 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 I want it. I love the Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighter style. Now, I know a lot of people are like, the colors are not conventional. I don't need all of that, but I think it's just a cool and innovative product. Like the Beach Please collection, you know, those things, I really enjoy putting those particular highlighters on my eyes. And I just knew when I saw this that I was like, okay, it's the same thing. Like, I'm going to like this. So this is the palette. If you haven't seen any pictures of it, it's just like the camera and the lighting doesn't do it justice. Plus, this right here is also holographic, so it's a little hard to catch on camera. But this is intended for your eyes, your cheeks, or your body. It is the Killawatt foil, and this packaging right here is actually cardboard. So you can actually equate this packaging to like an Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. And I believe everybody usually likes the packaging of the glow kits. I was a tiny bit disappointed when I thought this was cardboard. Like, I thought it was going to be like a hard plastic. But you know what? I'm actually glad it's not. And I think like the product itself would have cost more. Now it came in the same like unicarton with the same design right here. And it has the shade names on the back with the corresponding color. And then it says that the time for open is 9 months once open, but I'm sure you can keep it longer. And like I said, it's for it's safe for the eyes, and it's safe for the cheeks, and you can put it anywhere else that you want to glow. You know, Rihanna loves to glow, and why would we expect less? I just think that this holiday collection was very cool. You know, everything was not for me, but you can pick and choose what is for you. And for me, it was the highlight palette. I was also very interested in the eye crayons, which comes in the shade that's Frost Money. I'll like insert a picture of it here. Unfortunately, I had to order that offline. My local Sephora's did not have that product in stock. Their shipment was like a little bit delayed from the warehouse, so they had majority of the collection, so it could launch on time. But like one Sephora didn't have any of the eye crayons, and then like the one Sephora where I went to initially, they had 2 of the eye crayons, but they did not have the one I was most interested in because there were like 3 different versions. So I picked up the eyeshadow palette and I did this look for you today, and I'm very pleased with it. I think it came out great. I think I look like, you know, the wearable version of Rihanna's promo pic. It has some inspiration for that, but I just knew I wanted to play with the darker shades in this collection. Like this shade right here is called Heartburn, and it is actually like a satin finish. This is definitely meant to be an eyeshadow. Do not be alarmed. This shade is not meant to be on your cheek. You could put on your cheek, I guess, if you're a very deep complected person. I'm not sure how that would exactly look, but you could always try and, you know, see how it looks. But I know a lot of people are like kind of intimidated by this blue, but like it's underneath the rim of my eyes right here, and it's very vibrant. But you know, it's more of a risk to put that right, but I would more so wear that as an eyeshadow. I think it's very pretty. This shade right here, which is called Scandalize, I have it in my inner corner, and I have a little bit on my cheek along with this shade right here, this orange shade that's called Honey Slope. So overall, I'm really thrilled with this palette. This palette retails for $54. It does have a mirror. Now the names are not on the front, but they are on the back. But what I would say what's wrong with the back is like this shade right here, it says Heartburn, but when you look at it, it's corresponding inside the palette. It is actually the shade Honey Slope. So they're like a little inverted on this side. It does tell you, it has the shade names in here with the actual color, so you know exactly which color it is. Some people might care about that, some people might not. I normally don't care, but now that I'm like making YouTube videos, I kind of do care. But the Fenty launch is actually available now. It is in stores at your local Sephora, and Fenty is exclusive only to Sephora, and it's found in Sephora online and the JCPenney's. So I do a demo on this look, and I want to go ahead and do some swatches for you right here. And then also I would like to compare the Beach Please collection, because at first I was a little bit hesitant. I was like, oh no, I hope those are not the same shades as the Beach Please collection. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this for you. We have Chills, we have Honey Slope, we have Chop and Ice, we have Heartburn, we have Sub-Zero, then we have Stone Cold, okay, so now that you've seen the swatches of this beauty right here, this is the holiday collection, I would like to do some comparison swatches. So if you're anything like me, you're like, oh, and you have like the Beach Please collection, and this is what came out in May of this year, where these fun highlights, where it had Mimosa Sunrise and Sangria Sunset, and then you had a Poolside and 7-Day Weekend, which looks like this. And then you have this one right here, which is Sandcastle and Minted Mojito right here. So you're probably like, ooh, do I even need this palette? You know, is it worth it? Are the colors different? And honestly, I do think that the colors are different. Okay, for starters, you do have like this bright pink right here. So you don't have anything that's quite comparable to that in this particular palette. You have this one color at the top that has a duochrome shift and it's purple. So, but the orange might seem a little similar. So to me, the orange in the new palette is a little bit of a cooler tone. So I'm going to take, I'm going to go ahead and swatch this right here. This is Mimosa Sunrise. Do it. I'll try to do it right here. This is Mimosa Sunrise. And then on my other finger, and wipe it off, I'm going to go ahead and take Honey Slope. So as you can see, Honey Slope is a little cooler. It's not as bright. This is more like tangerine, like in your face tangerine. And this is more like a muted silver tone. Sorry, you see my makeup wipe. Orange right there. And then if you wanted to just see this particular shade, Chop and Ice, this shade is more of like a bronzy color. And this is more foiled. Hopefully you can see that. So there, those shades are quite different right there. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the shades, we have the purple ones, or the purple blue based ones, and this one right here, which is a 7-Day Weekend, and then this is Poolside. So we have 7-Day Weekend right here, and I'm going to swatch that like right here. I love this shade. It is so pretty in the inner corners when you're doing like a purple look. And I'm going to go ahead and compare it to the center shade, which is called Stone Cold. This one right here is one of the most similar shades. So as you can see, like they're similar, but they're different enough. Stone Cold definitely has more blue and the silver to it, where Poolside is more, I'm sorry, not Poolside, but 7 Day Weekend is a little bit more just lavender. Sorry, with the lights it's probably hard to see, but you can definitely see the shifts and how bright those shades are. And just because this one is also purple, I'm going to go ahead and use Scandal Ice. But Scandal Ice is more of a sheer shade. It's sheerish, but this has a blue purple duochrome shift, as you can see with the lighting right there. So now I have the last little pod right here, and then this is Minty Mojito and Sandcastle. So in this particular palette, once again, Sandcastle would be most comparable to that shade Stone Cold. So I'm going to do Sandcastle here first. That's Sandcastle, and that's part of the Beach Please collection. I thought that collection was actually going to be like a summer, you know, limited edition, but it's still hanging around. So if these are more interesting and you still want to pick them up, you know, those are still available. And then this is Stone Cold again. So that is pretty too. So they're different. This Sandcastle is definitely more champagne than that Stone Cold. It has more lavender blue in the Stone Cold shade. And then I'm just going to put it down here on this arm. Then I'm going to take the other side, which is Minty Mojito. I'm going to swatch it right here, which is like has this blue shift, but it looks kind of blue purple. I am wiping my finger off not to transfer the shades. And then I'm going to put it right here. So these shades are probably, this shade and this shade is probably the most similar out of everything I've swatched. But this one, which is called Chills, is definitely, if you blend it out, more purple. So overall, I do feel that even I have these shades right here, I do feel like this is still something that's unique to my collection. I do feel that, you know, it's different enough to have both sets of highlighters. Now, like I said, I just thought this packaging was very cool. I have this shade called Heartburn all over my lid, into my crease, blended out beautifully, as you would see. And then I have this color that's called Sub-Zero over it with, this is called Scandal Ice in the inner corner, along with Sub-Zero at the bottom of my waterline. And then I even have Scandal Ice a little bit on my cheeks, along with this shade right here. So I actually welcome this to my collection. I think it's very good. You know, this retails for $54. So a single highlight like this particular highlight, or if you just have one of the single highlighters that does not have a split pan, like the one that is called Trophy Wife. Like if you have a Trophy Wife, which is this right here, these retail for $38. And the palette itself is $54. So even if you were thinking about getting these and you did not pick this up, it might be just worth it more to you to pick up the palette, because the palette, excuse me, is $54 and you get 7 shades in here. Versus, so it's like $20 more. You can get 7 shades, or you can just get like 1. So I think that this is very economical, which is pretty good for like a holiday release. I feel like a lot of times holiday releases are just like, it seems like a good deal sometimes, but it's just not. And a person who loves makeup realizes that it might not be a good deal, but the average consumer does not. But I feel like this is kind of more plain as day that this is a good deal, because you just go in the store and see like, okay, you get this, $38. All 5 of these are, all 7, excuse me, are $54, but the formula is on par with this, because a lot of times in holiday makeup, the formula is not the same. And like, this is just my initial impressions, but, and I will come back on to do another video with the, like the warmer shades. And then once I get the eye crayons, But overall, I think that this particular item of the release is very good, and I'm happy with it. I welcome it to my collection, as I keep just saying it over and over again. But a lot of times holiday makeup, like, they give us a lot of crap. They put it in like super cute packaging where you're like, oh my god, it's so cute, and you think it's like the best thing you've ever seen, and you think it's something just so new. And it's not. It's the same 5 shades that they've had in every palette. And matter of fact, it's the same 5 shades that were the worst performing shades. So I just like commend Rihanna for coming out with something different. I have actually never tried her actual eyeshadow palettes. They never moved me enough to pick up the actual eyeshadow palettes. But like I said, with these Killawatt shadows, you can use them as an eyeshadow. Now, a lot of people complain like, I don't need an eyeshadow that big. No, you don't. But like, part of the product is just fun. It's unique. It's different. Everybody always says they want different until different comes out, and then they have a complaint about that. So it's like, what do you want? But like I said, these actually have a little bit less product, but I think you'll be okay. You know, it takes a long time to go through something this big. We don't realize that. We're always like, I need more product. Do we really? We don't always need to. So if a price point is a little bit lower and it's like a mini, I don't always mind that. So like this particular product is, each one of these is 2.8 grams, where in the split pans of the duos, these are like, this one is 7-day weekend or poolside. This one is 3.5 grams, and that's 3.5 grams on each side. So I don't think we're missing out much product. You have 5 different shades here. It's going to take a long time to go through, even if you just use it as eyeshadow. It's going to take you a moment to hit pan. You're not going to hit pan immediately unless it's like the only thing you use all the time. And even the trophy wife right here, this is actually 8 grams of product, because the whole pan is this. So I mean, you know, I just commend Rihanna for doing something different. I think she was out of the box. I really wasn't expecting, you know, for it to be like a highlighter palette. I welcome it. I was actually thinking this summer, I was like, oh, if she just released like a bunch of mini, just like stuff like this, I would be so into it, because I really just enjoy using these as an eyeshadow. I think it's a fun way to freshen up your look. You could throw them in the crease. They play well with each other, and you could just mix and match and come up with a lot of different color combinations, as I did here. Now the crayons, like I said, I'm very excited to see them. To me, that just reminded me of like old school Bonnie Bell makeup. Who is with me? If you remember Bonnie Bell from back in the day, she sold at Claire's, and like the icing, they were found at Ulta. She had like everything. She had the lipsticks, but she had those little eye crayons, and they were everything. And you would just like swipe them across your lid of your eye. You maybe blended it up once you got a little bit more advanced with your skill. And to me, that's what it reminded me of. So I was very excited to see this collection, and I thought it was just something different, something fresh versus like a warm-tone palette. Like I said, a lot of the holiday collections have not moved me, but this did move me, and I hope you stay tuned for my demo. And these are my first impressions on it, and I will come back and give you more of a follow-up review. And I'm also going to come back with another look. So thank you for watching, and check out the demo after this. Okay, hey guys, let's jump into this demo. I'm so excited to use this, and this is what the palette looks like once again. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to focus on these darker colors, and right here. Now the names are actually inverted on the back of the package, so you have to read them the opposite way. So according to the IG post that Trend put up with the shade names, this shade is called Heartburn, and then this is Sub-Zero. So I'm going to go ahead and play with Heartburn. Hopefully you can see it. And this shade is actually more like a satin shade, so it's not like a frosty shade, so you could tell like you could really use this as an eyeshadow. It looks very pigmented. But first I'm going to jump into my Revolution makeup. This is the palette called Reloaded Iconic Division. And I'm just going to take this only because this palette is like all shimmers or like a satin finish, and I want to have a little bit of a transition. I do have my eyebrows filled in. I'm using the Anastasia brow definer in the shade Caramel, and I have my Urban Decay primer potion on in the shade of Caffeine, if you can tell, and I have that blended out already. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump in with my Sephora Pro Fluffy Blending Brush, and I'm going to start with, these shades don't have names, so I'm going to go ahead with this shade right here. And this is like one of my palettes that's actually a little bit more cooler tone. since I'm going to play with the burgundies and the blues, I was kind of swatching around with it. I was like, oh my goodness, like this blue shade over the burgundy is so pretty. So right now I'm just kind of laying that down in my transition area. You're going back and forth, windshield wiper motions, just giving like a soft wash of color. And you can take any like peachy shade. You don't have to like run out and get this palette. It is inexpensive. I think it was, how much was this palette? Maybe $14. And then you know you can use like the coupons on them. I got this from Ulta Beauty and they sell them on their website also. You know, some are hit and miss. If you kind of look at this palette like, subculture vibes. Subculture vibes. I did own subculture at one point, but yeah, I had to let her go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this shade right next to it. And I'm just going to kind of build up a little bit more definition. I'm going to use that same brush. I'm going to tap off the excess and go in a little bit below that first shade. Just building that up. Just so we have like a little framework for these Fenty shadows. Like I said, you can take any color that suits you, please. But I kind of want to keep this looking the berry look. So that's why I'm using these maroon shadows. Just to, you know, help build up the look. And I really wanted to get the eye crayons that were in the shade Frost Money. Those were the darker ones. I'll insert a picture for you. But like the Sephora's in my area, they had like a backlog. Okay, so now I'm going to take, I have this Sonia Kashuk blending brush right here. Or sorry, it's an eyeshadow brush. And it looks like this. And I'm going to go ahead and dip in with the shade Heartburn, which I explained to you is more like a satin. And I'm just going to pick that up. It picks up very nicely. It's just a little bit of kickback in the plan, but like nothing to be alarmed of. And I'm just going to start pressing that in. Okay, so I'm just going to keep like applying that shade right here. And I'm going to bring it up above the crease. I'm just going to keep pressing. And this shade is very pigmented. You can tell, like, so don't be alarmed. Like, this is definitely meant to be an eyeshadow. This is not a shade where, like, I don't know. You think it would be more like a low lighter, not a highlighter, that's for sure. But I'm going to kind of leave this little inner corner open right here. And I'm just going to go ahead, wing this little area out. And I'm just pressing and patting that shadow in. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. And I really want to come back on here and do another look with this palette. But I was just like so intrigued with these, like this dark, smoky cranberry shades. Yes. And that was very easy to apply. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that same Sephora Pro Brush and I'm just going to kind of clean up those edges. Just make sure it's diffused nicely into that other color. Because like I said, that other color was just to give us a nice wash. Now I probably could have blended this up, but I wasn't sure how the shadow was performed. But I'm going to pick up just a tiny bit more with this brush just to see, you know, how it does blend up. Oh, I should have given it a little try earlier instead of just kind of jumping in with that other crease. But I think it does add nice definition to the look. Lightly blending that out. Okay. So far, so good. And this is, you know, with those other Killawatt highlighters, I use those as eyeshadows all the time. So like, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised, but I have not actually tried her eyeshadow palettes, the ones that she does have being for eyeshadow palettes. Now, I have to use like this blue color right here, and this is Sub-Zero. It is so pretty. So right now I have my Tarte brush, and I have my little flat synthetic shader brush, and I'm going to pick up that color. And this color does have like a lot of glitter and can be a little frosty. It's so pretty by itself. Look at that blue. You can see it on camera, like right there in the monitor. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a little spritz with my Fix Plus. I like to do that, especially with shades that have more shimmer in it, and it just kind of helps the shimmers to stay in place. And we're going to pat that more so on my mobile lid part over the front center and just kind of blend it in. And it's giving such a cool effect. Like I said, I kind of tested this theory out on my hand last night, and I was like, oh, yep. Gotta do it. And I'm not taking that above the crease. I'm just kind of putting that on the mobile lid. And then I'm going to do it here with the other side. This is just gorgeous. Just gives it a nice hazy. It kind of takes that cranberry to like a blue, purple situation. And I'm just going to push a little bit more right here. My brush is still a tiny bit wet. Okay, now I'm going to take that same brush. Look how that looks. So pretty. Effortless and pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to take this top shade, and I believe this is called Scandal Ice right here. And it has like a duochrome shift, and it's kind of purple shade. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up some with that same brush. I wiped it off right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and spray it. And put it in my inner corner. Ooh. Look at that shift. I don't even think the camera is really doing it justice. And I'm going to kind of blend that in. You know how I do. Well, if you've been here following me, I appreciate it. Speaking like I've been on the YouTube grind forever. But I like to use this little corner to my advantage right here. I think it gives my eye a nice shape. So pretty. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my 224 MAC blending brush. And I'm just going to make sure like this part is totally blended out. Blend, blend, blend. So I'm going to go ahead and put some eyeliner on and some mascara, and I'll be right back, and probably a little bit of face makeup. Okay, I got the rest of my face makeup on. So I have a little bit of the Tutti Frutti Do You foundation in the shade Worn Sand on. And I went ahead and in my waterline, I decided to go with this blue liner. And this is like a little giveaway or sample size. It's called Ink. It's the 24/7 Glide On eyeliner by Urban Decay. And I put that in my waterline. And for my wing liner, the black liner, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Cause I'm Black eyeliner. Now let's go ahead and finish up some little details. So I'm going to go back into the highlighter palette right here. And I'm going to take the blue shade. I have my little Tarte brush, and I'm going to go here on the side. And once again, that color is called Scandal Ice. That was the color that we put right here on the inside. And I'm going to put just a tiny bit right here to connect it. Then I'm going to go ahead and wipe that brush off. Then I'm going to go in with that blue shade, and that was called Sub-Zero. I have the blue shade. I'm taking it on the corner of the brush. And I'm going to go in with some Fix Plus. And I'm going to take that along my lower lash line. And that is so pretty. Now, if you saw the promo pictures, Rihanna was actually wearing blue mascara. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take, I have this NYX Blue Mascara, and I've never used this particular one before. I've used blue mascara before, but I've never used the one by NYX, but I've seen people wear it and I know it should be pretty good. So I have the blue mascara, and I'm going to go ahead and give my eyelashes a coat. Okay, now that I got my mascara on, go back into the palette, and I'm going to use this as highlighter. I have the Fenty highlighter brush right here, and we're going to dip into this shade right here, which is called Honey Slope. And this one, this shade is not so glittery, so I'm very excited to see. I'm going to tap off. It's very pigmented, as you can see on the brush. I'm going to tap it off a little bit there. And I'm going to kind of dot it with this brush because I don't want to just swipe it across first, and now I'm just going to kind of go ahead and blend that in. Ooh, gives a nice little sheen. I also love that other shade from the Beach Please collection. I think that was just a little bit more shimmery. This is a definitely cooler tone orange. It looks pretty. I'm going to bring some up here. And now I'm going to change brushes, and I'm going to go in with the fan brush and just kind of tie the look in. I don't want to take this shade because it's so bronzy, but I'm going to go back into that shade at the top that we used in the inner corner, that Scandal Ice shade, just a little bit, and just dab it on top. Not sure if that's picking up, but it's very pretty. I don't mind. Blue highlighters. I have like the Anastasia Dream highlighter, I believe. That's the one. Or the first one that she came out with, like the blues and the purples. Looks very pretty on top of that orange. I'm feeling it with this eye look. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do the lips. I have my current lip liner. This is by MAC Cosmetics. Gently filling my lips. The rest of it. Lightly. And then I actually have, this is probably limited edition, but I thought it would look cool with the look. It's a frost lipstick by MAC Cosmetics, and it's called Cling It On. I think it was from like their Star Trek. Especially when you see it has the nice little logo right here. But the shade looks like this, so it's kind of like a purpley, maroony, so I think it would fit the eyeshadow vibes really good. Oh yeah. Ooh, I'm here for this look. I think I've turned myself into a little Rihanna Frost bunny. I don't know. I'm going to put the picture right here so you can see. I mean, it's more of a wearable version. I'm not Rihanna, but I think it's more wearable. What you think? I think so. Then I'm going to top it off with a little Dazzle Glass, and this is called Like Magic. The top might look a little different from one of their Christmas sets, but you know MAC. I'm sure you can find the shade or something very similar. It's very glittered. Put a little bit in the middle. So how do we like? Okay, so I found myself some earrings, but how do we like this look? I think it turned out gorgeous. I think this is like a wearable version of her promo pics because let's be honest, You can't go outside. Well, if you want to go outside in silver highlighter all over the place, then that's fine. But, or blue highlighter, which is palette. But I think it's a very nice kind of take on that look. And I wasn't really, like, aiming for that. But it's how the look turned out. And I'm going to, like, insert a picture so you can see on the side what it looks like. But I think I like it. I really do like it. So let me know what you think down in the comments, and thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I'm uploading videos, which is very soon. And make sure you comment. Bye, YouTube.